Hi, welcome to Myers ASMR. How are you? Are you relaxed? Relax. Relax. It's so good to see you. Isn't this a great time to be alive? Yeah, isn't this a great time to be alive? Well, I know it's a great time to try this chicken pad thai that I just ordered from a place called Wild Ginger. Wild Ginger. Don't you just love that name? Let's see, you know what? My mom used to say, don't just shake salt on it before you try it. Try it first. It might not need salt. So, hey, it might not need lime. Yeah. Nice flavor. I've been eating a lot of Thai food lately. Ooh, cilantro. Nice touch. Cilantro is so flavorful. I do like my citrus. That will always be true. Love some citrusy. I'm wondering though, where is the sauce? Maybe it's underneath here because the top seems a bit dry. So let me see what's going on. I know what to do. I gotta do it. I don't even know if this is the same sauce that they use, but I'll just dab it because I don't want to mess it up. Just in case this is the wrong sauce. But I figure can't go wrong with a little touch of soy sauce, right? Just a few drops. Just a few touches. All right. That should be enough. All right, so I just stirred that up, just gave it a good turn over. Now let's try it. It's an improvement. I mean, it was good already. I'm just used to tasting a sauce. really hope I did not overdo it this time. Oh my goodness. I had to do it, y'all. Because I'm just used to tasting a sauce on my pad thai. So, let me see. Just want to mix it up. Mix it up. That's better. It did change the taste. Today was hair wash day, so I feel so good, so fresh. Taste a little hint of pepper, and I love it. Trying to get my extensions to lay right. Only one piece of onion. I forgot to show you from the beginning. Cilantro is divine. I need to take a break. It's been basically non-stop chewing for almost 20 minutes, so I'm getting fatigued. This is plain filtered water. I bought a pure filter with a lead filter, and now I can drink straight up tap water. Ah, that is good. Well, this is the time in the video when we focus on getting better and better every day in every way. With the help of this How to Develop a Winning Personality book. So let's see where we left off. This chapter is called Make Yourself Colorful. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was one of our great presidents, and he would find his place in history without a gimmick. Nevertheless, most of us, when we think of him, picture in our minds at once the long, long cigarette holder with the cigarette pointing almost skyward. The image of the irascible mayor who once headed the government of New York City always includes the big 10-gallon hat. Indeed, when the play Fiorello was produced, the big hat was an indispensable prop. Winston Churchill played up the V for victory sign with his fingers and still retained the original gimmick of the big cigar which he chewed rather than smoked. President Kennedy affected a rocking chair. President Eisenhower made use of the name Ike. President Truman played up the early morning walk Jack Benny employed the gimmick of stinginess. Ted Lewis wore a stovepipe hat. Kate Smith became the moon over the mountain girl. You can add to the list for hours. Before we go on, it is necessary to sound a note of caution. I wouldn't want anyone, on the strength of what I have written thus far, to rush out and acquire a gimmick. The wrong gimmick could make things worse for you rather than better. There's a fine line between being colorful and being a freak. The gimmick has to be made to order for you. To illustrate the point, we might take some of the gimmicks mentioned above and transpose them. If President Roosevelt had worn LaGuardia's 10-gallon hat, the gimmick would have made him a freak. Roosevelt was not the big hat type. If President Kennedy were to chew Churchillian cigars, he would appear ridiculous. If Eisenhower had pretended to be stingy, the gimmick would have been plain silly. If our friend Lorna had taken a sudden liking to Rolls Royces, well, in a little while, we shall examine a collection of gimmicks from which you may be able to select one suitable for yourself, or which may suggest others more pleasing to you. First, however, we shall discuss a few attributes that are more basic, as enthusiasm is. Parenthetically, it should be pointed out that gimmicks do not have to be as insubstantial as the ones already referred to. Some of the gimmicks we shall discuss will have the power not only to make you colorful and to stand out, but also to add beneficially to your basic personality structure. Somewhat related to enthusiasm, but not as exciting to others as enthusiasm, is curiosity. Remember, I said curiosity, not nosiness. I'm looking for where he mentions gimmicks. I thought he gave a list. I don't know. I guess he includes it within these paragraphs. Two brief anecdotes, both true, will serve to explain. Edward D. was invited out to dinner by his boss. This was the first time. They had both been working late, and the dinner was intended to be something in the nature of a show of consideration to a devoted employee with whom the boss had had little, if any, social contact. During the course of the meal, the boss told Edward that he was planning to go fishing up in Maine. A person with little curiosity might have said, "That's nice, I hope you enjoy it." Such a comment would have been sufficient, and the boss would have considered it kind and adequate. And that would have been the end of it, but Edward was gifted with curiosity. "I've often thought of going fishing," he said, "but isn't it dull?" "Dull? Hell no," said the boss. "I can't imagine anything more enjoyable." "Well," said Edward, "I'd like to try." "How do you go about it? Is it expensive to buy tackle? And how do you know what to buy and where to go?" Curiosity about things that affect or interest others is, if it is truly curiosity and not nosiness, flattering, whether it is meant to be flattering or not. It places the one who knows in an ego-feeding position, vis-a-vis the one who is curious. "Well," said the boss, "I suppose it is a little complicated in the beginning, but you could start off in a small way." "But I hear so much about blues and bass and flies and weather and all that," said Edward, "that I would think you'd have to know something at the very start. For instance, what type of tackle should I ask for? Where would I go to fish? How do you get a boat? What do you do when you get a bite? You see what I mean?" The boss chuckled. I've been fishing for so many years, he said, that I've forgotten that it doesn't come naturally. He then went into a detailed exposition of the art of fishing, prompted now and again by an additional question. Finally, he became so involved in making Edward understand what he said. Tell you what, you're coming along with me this weekend. That's the best way to learn. I always say, the best way to learn, is to do. I like the way you approach the thing. You'll be a good fisherman before you know it. Edward has curiosity. He is never going to want for company. Everybody likes to be with someone who wants to know, if, that is, they know the answers. If Edward, out of a clear sky, had started to ask his boss questions about Picasso, he might have embarrassed him so that he'd be lucky to hold on to his job, much less go fishing with him. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there and mark the spot where I'm going to pick up the next time. Hey, if you want to collaborate with me, do some videos together, and we can help each other's channels. If you have any products or services you want me to review, I'm open to sponsorship. Let's talk. And remember that, isn't this a great time to be alive? I mean, really, isn't this a great time to be alive? If you like what I'm doing here, like and subscribe, donate to the channel. Catch me in the next video. And may you find lasting happiness. Bye.